Hello class, if you made it through to this video, then hopefully things are going well. You got through the intro video, you got through a couple lecture videos, and now you're back with me again to talk about a couple of the assignments this week that I just wanted to touch base on. The first thing I want to talk about is our discussion forums. So not every week, more weeks than not, we will have a discussion forum. Again, because this class, we're not all going to meet. We won't all get to know each other, so we're limited in class discussions, so we have these online discussion forums, which not everybody's a big fan of. I've taken some online courses I wasn't a big fan of. I would much rather us all come together each week and have the discussion, but we just don't do that in the online environment, so we have these discussion forums that are kind of a necessary evil just to hopefully expand our thoughts, get you some help and assistance and discussions that is meant to provide new perspectives for all of you on what we're discussing that week. So I want to go over the guidelines for the discussion forums. You can see that here. This is always on Canvas. It's always up at the top in the general information, so you can always go back and look at this to see what your discussion forums instructions are if you don't remember. But what we'll have when we have a discussion forum, the assignment will pop up and you will get your instructions of what the topic is. Some of them are just, hey, what do you think about this? Some of them are just right off the top of your head. Some will require a little bit of research and some work. So they vary back and forth as to the topic that we have each week. What we'll do is we'll go in there. Again, I'll have them posted like I do with all the assignments for the week. Hopefully by Sunday afternoon, by Monday. Sometimes if I know I'm going to be gone for the weekend, I might do them on a Friday, but they'll be up there by Monday at least. Our initial post is going to be due on Wednesday night. Therefore, those who want to put everything off until you come to the seated class, well, you have that option as well if you'd like. But by Wednesday night at 11, you need your initial post. So what we're doing is every Wednesday by 11, you'll need to go in, you'll log on to the discussion forum. You'll see what's on there, and I'll show you one here in a second. Your initial entry needs to be at least 300 words, a minimum of 300 words. That might sound like a lot, 300, but when you get into it, it's really not. It goes pretty quickly. It's a couple paragraphs. It's not meant to be a big, long thing, but I need you to express your opinion or provide the input that's required in there. And so just put in there, you have enough prompts that you'll be able to get through 300 words pretty easily. So the initial post is 300, due by Wednesday night at 11 o'clock. Then by Sunday night, you need to go back and you need to reply to 2 of your classmates' posts. So go back and give feedback, hopefully enhance the conversation, provide some suggestions, ask some questions. Your 2 responses to at least 2 classmates need to be 150 words each. So those will need to come back. When you're commenting, just don't go on there and say, hey, that's a great job. I like how you did this. I like how you did that. I think you were really good in this. Put some thought into it, expand, help them out. That's the point of this. Imagine that we were in a classroom and they brought this up and then you want to add to that discussion, help them out. As we move into some of these are going to be about our topics, about our business plan, our different things. And this is an opportunity for you to say, hey, I like how you did this, but have you thought about this, or have you looked into this, or I also looked into this and I agree, or I had questions about this that will help them enhance their plan or their assignments, as that's the intent of this. So make sure that you get that first one done by Wednesday so that your classmates can respond to it by Sunday and we can get these done. Make sure you stay up on that and get these done in a timely manner. So if you're looking at Canvas, and we'll go in here and look, so like this week we have a discussion forum that you'll see next. You'll go on here and you'll click, and then you'll go on here. Oh, that's the wrong one. I entered into that's one we'll add later. So this one, discussion forum 1, you'll go in here, it'll say right here, and you just put in there and you add, and you just add it in there. So you put in there, you go in and you add, and you can click in there and it'll walk you through how to put it in, and then you submit it, and then you can see everyone else's replies. We don't have any on there, so I can't show you how to go on there and reply to it, but you'll see when there's some in there and how to post your initial one as well. The other thing that I want to talk about right now is the $5 challenge. That's the other assignment that's coming in this first week. So the $5 challenge, which used to be the $1 challenge, but inflation, we kicked it up a couple years ago. It's kind of a fun thing that I like to do as we talk this week about the entrepreneurial mindset and thinking outside the box and coming up with solutions to products and being able to monetize that and to sell that and meeting needs or solving problems for other people and turning that over and over, that's entrepreneurship. And that's what we're going to start out by doing. So the $5 challenge, you have until February 8th, so just about 4 weeks to work on this. I would highly recommend you don't put this off. I would get started on it right away. But what you're going to do is you need to start with $5. So this will cost you $5. Start off with $5 and you need to come with an original business idea of finding something that you can do with that $5 and seeing how much money you can make with it over the next 4 weeks. So you can only use the $5. You can't go out. You have the instructions here. It's entirely how you spend your $5 or invest the $5 to make more money down the road. But it has to be legal. You can't go gamble. You can't run out to the casino. You can't bet things. You also cannot use materials you already own. You can't go in and say, well, I have all this stuff, I'm just going to sell that. That doesn't work. Whatever you're making the money with, your initial materials, your initial supply, your initial stock had to be purchased with the $5. So basically, you're starting with nothing other than the $5. You can't say, well, I spent $5 on this, and then I used all these other things that I had at home. So let's just say cookies. You decide you're going to sell cookies, so you go spend $5 on chocolate chips, and then you go home and you use the flour and the eggs and sugar and everything that you had at home. That doesn't work because you didn't buy all the necessary items with your $5. So make sure you're doing that. Also, you can't go to a family member or a good friend or your grandma and say, Grandma, can you sell me enough to make cookies for $5? And she sells that to you. We'll talk later about competitive advantage, and if you have a buyer relationship, that's a great competitive advantage. But right now, we want to start on an even kill with nothing except what you buy from the $5. So basically what you have to do is you have to start small and then do something with your $5, make sales for something more than that you've done, and then reinvest that money back, and then you can expand. And then you can get bigger and then sell that and use that money to expand and get bigger and roll over. And that's the idea of the $5 challenge. Now there's a red paperclip video that I've assigned in here where this guy takes a paper clip and then he starts trading it to get bigger and bigger things. That's kind of what we're doing, but we're not trading things. We're going to start with $5, and the idea is that you're going to invest the $5 or purchase things and then sell them. Sell them for more money than you have. Find a way that what you bought for less than $5 has a value to somebody else of more than $5, or economies of scale and volume that you can buy a few things for less than $5 and go out and sell those and do that. And that's the idea. You're going to track all of your expenses and revenues. So at the end of this, when this is done on February 8th, you're going to submit back to me through Canvas a one-page summary of what you did. What business idea you came up with, how you went through it, why you come up with that business idea, what you learned from the process, what you would do differently if you were to go back and do it over again, and just a breakdown of what you did. And then on a separate page, you're going to have a spreadsheet or something that shows your expenses. What did you spend with your initial $5? What did you purchase? How much did you earn on that? Where did you spend again? How much did you earn? And then a bottom line of what you made. Now this is a contest. One, it's a grade. You're going to be graded on effort and how you went through the process, and you'll write up your summary and everything like that. But I'm also going to give 25% bonus on your grade for the person who earns the most money, 10% for second, 5% for third. All of the money you make from this, you get to keep. So maybe you find a side hustle out of this that helps you offset some income in there. Maybe you make some money. I've had some people make some pretty good money in 4 weeks. I've had a couple people make over $1,000 in the 4 weeks. So it is possible to get out there and do that. I've had a lot of people that put this off till last week and then start making money and all of a sudden made $100 going, man, I should have started this sooner. But really, when people do this summary and when they ask them what they would have done differently if they were to do it again, almost all of them say they wish they would have started sooner. It is tough. It isn't easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to get you out of your comfort zone. Not everybody likes this assignment, but it's an assignment. It's something that you're going to have to do for your grade. It's a big part of your grade, and it impacts you if you don't. So get out there, do it. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you're questioning, well, I want to do this, and I don't know if that follows rules or not, come see me. Come see me, come talk to me, shoot me an email. Let's talk. If you have any questions or concerns about that. So you'll submit that through Canvas. It's due by February 8th. The discussion forums each week, including this week, the first one's by Wednesday. The response to 2 classmates by Sunday evening. Again, if you have questions, let me know. Thanks and good luck.